Good evening. The August 26, 2025 board meeting is now in order. I would like to welcome my fellow board members and the public. I would like to take this opportunity to remind the public that their appropriate place for public participation in the meeting is during your individual public comment opportunity as identified on the agenda. Outside of your individual public comment opportunity, your role in the meeting is as an observer. Paul, roll call, please.
Mr. Trent?
Here.
Mr. Susan?
Here.
Ms. Wright?
Here.
Ms. Campbell?
Here.
Mr. Trent, or Mr. Domick, sorry.
Here. At this time, the board would like to hold a moment of silence. I invite the audience to join. Thank you. I would like to invite Alec Karpowicz to the podium to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight we have Mr. Yeo, music director, along with the Stevenson Elementary School Choir, who will perform 2 songs.
Let's give them a round of applause.
Indivisible with liberty.
gonna be the main event like no king was before. I'm rushing up, I'm looking down, I'm working on my roar. That's more rather uninspiring. Ha 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 ha! Oh, I just can't wait to be king. No one say do this, no one say be there, no one say stop that. Don't say see here, free to run around all day, free to do it all my Everybody look left, everybody look right, everybody look high, standing in the spotlight, not yet. Let every creature go for broke and sing. Let's hear it in the herd and on the wing. It's gonna be King Simba's finest fling. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Oh, we just can't wait to be king. Just can't wait to be king.
All right, I take it that's Phoenix and Shelby at the podium. All right. Board, questions?
Oh, sure, I'll kick it off.
Sure.
So you guys are exceptional. How did you get so good in just a few weeks?
Well, I think me and Shelby, we've both been doing choir since like 4th grade. So we're kind of like experienced with performances, and it was just like kind of wanted to put this together.
You got a lot of other people helping you. How about them?
Yeah. Everyone really contributed really well.
And I feel that for the people who haven't done choir, it was that everyone was so committed to this, and everyone felt that it was their responsibility to bring it the way all of us do.
Well, you guys brought it. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Very awesome, very awesome. Well, I have a feeling in a few years, some of you are going to be on the stage at Cocoa Village Playhouse pretty soon. Anybody down in the crowd think that would be fun to perform? Yeah, I thought maybe you guys. Awesome. So I was asking Mr. Yo a question beforehand, but did anybody hear the answer? Did you guys hear the answer how long he'd been at Stevenson?
If I remember correctly, he's been there since it first opened.
Yes, 26 years, right, Mr. Yo? But he was quick not to take all the credit, and I heard that you guys also have your dance instructor here. So would you like to, one of you, introduce your dance teacher also to us?
Well, here is our amazing, spectacular, and all-around incredibly flexible Miss Whitney.
That is most excellent. Thank you for that wonderful introduction of your teachers. Fantastic. Thank you guys both for leading such a great group of students in the performing arts, and you guys know that is close to my heart. I love kids to see kids perform. Even if you never perform after elementary school, the confidence, obviously, the confidence that you build and getting to stand in front of people and shine is just something that will go with you for the rest of your life, and I'm very proud of you. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Wright.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. You remind us why we are here and set the pace for every board meeting. So we appreciate you coming. Let me ask our vocal solo singers, were you guys nervous tonight?
Oh, 100%.
You were? Oh, we could not tell. All right. All right. And let me ask you this question is, what is your favorite class that you take currently?
I mean, like, From like academics, I would say science
Okay.
because our amazing Miss Sear is just amazing. But I think that my favorite like class that I could do at Stevenson would probably be the drama department because I love like performing in the arts.
Good. What
For
about you?
me, I believe that academically ELA would be my favorite
Okay.
because I love reading and Miss Guccione is just amazing.
Okay. That's awesome.
And for the arts and mostly in general, I gotta say singing. I've always loved it.
Yes, you have quite the charisma, so I have no doubt you are going somewhere. But thank you so much, and to the parents that sacrificed to bring all of your children tonight, thank you, thank you, thank you. It definitely, like I said, it sets the tone for the evening, and we appreciate it tremendously.
Do you have any, okay, sorry, I've got a couple of recognitions that I want to do, but there's two children right behind you, sir, that when you had mentioned about who wants to go do Cocoa Village and everything, they were raising their hands. So I didn't know if any of you, those are your siblings back there, but is that your sibling?
That's my sister.
I figured as much. She was so excited, so you have, I see it's in the genes, and you're leading with good example. Mr. Yo, I wanted to say thank you. This many children, when you had to make that adjustment and they all moved together, is something of an accomplishment because you've only had them for, I mean, you may have had them previous years, but you've only had them like for 2 weeks right now. Yeah. And I have 5 children and I can't get them to move like that. So you just moved an entire group of people. I understand. I get it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Mr. Yo. And I just want to take and thank the parents. You guys, it means the world for you to come down. I know it's the last thing you want to do on the Tuesday night is to come down and do stuff, but your kids get the opportunity to be here, and we wanted to say thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come down here. I wanted to give a shout out to Dad of the Year that's holding the kids in the front row there because, yes, that's it. You know, I was the same way. I had children all over my arms when when they were young, and it's something special to be able to hold your children like that. And I was just telling Miss Wright, I said I missed that when my kids were young. So thank you so much. Don't you tempt me, man. Don't you tempt me. But no, I wanted to say thank you to all the parents. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for coming tonight, and that's it. Thank you.
Awesome.
And Dad of the Year award goes to, what's your name? Kevin, thank you.
All right. Well, that was fitting for the scene out of Lion King, right? It's all tied in, so very good. Once again, I understand that you guys are very nervous. It's hard to speak up there. No, you guys are excellent. We would really like for you to come back and introduce the board the way you introduced your teacher. That's really good. Or Paul, you got to get better at it. All right, here you go.
Like some walk-up songs?
Yes. Oh, I got that coming. But guys, awesome. 1 week. That's great. You guys are in like rare form already. So thank you so much. And I can't add much more than we've had here. You guys were excellent. We expect when you come back mid-year, it's going to even be better, right? They don't know they're not coming back. So, sorry, that's good. Wait, no pressure at all. So, again, thank you, parents, for, bringing them out. Matt said, bring out on a Tuesday evening with this, the rain. It's the last thing you probably want to do is get in the car and bring the siblings and get here. But we appreciate it. Don't think we just put you out here for something to put on the agenda. We really do like to hear from you guys. So we appreciate that. And and you'll see, how this will pay off. Ms. Campbell had said it about confidence. It is so important for you to be able to, speak in public clearly, look people in the eye. I couldn't do that at your age, what you're doing, so congratulations on that. But parents, it has a lot to say for you, putting your children in the, programs like this. And we couldn't be more proud of you guys. So thank you so much. Dr. Rendell, do you want to add something?
Yeah, I think it would be appropriate to take a break and take a picture.
Absolutely. All right, guys. All right, well, welcome back. I'd like to invite Mr. Wilson, Mr. Rashad Wilson, Assistant Superintendent of District Operations, to the podium for our first recognition of his procurement department. Rashad.
Good evening. Board members, Dr. Rendell, staff, and guests. Tonight, I have the pleasure of recognizing a team that consistently demonstrates excellence, integrity, and innovation in one of the most vital areas of our district operations, our procurement team. This year, the department has achieved multiple significant milestones that deserve our attention and sincere commendation. First, we are proud to share that the department received the 2025 Award of Excellence in Public Procurement from the Florida Association of Public Procurement Officials. This honor is awarded to only 25 public entities across the state and recognizes outstanding performance in key areas like innovation, e-procurement, and transparency in the use of public funds. This award is a testament to our department's commitment to best practices and operational excellence. Also, on the national stage, they were awarded the 2025 Achievement of Excellence in Procurement Award from the National Procurement Institute. This recognition places our district among the top-tier public and nonprofit agencies across the country. It confirms that our procurement systems, staff training, and leadership strategies not only meet but exceed national standards for ethical and effective public procurement. And lastly, we want to recognize a significant accomplishment in professional development. In the past year, 8 team members earned their Florida Certified Contract Manager certification, a rigorous credential issued by the Florida Department of Management Services. This certification represents a deep knowledge of state regulations and high-level proficiency in contract management. We proudly congratulate the following. And when I call your name, please stand. Triana Castile, Procurement Agent 2. Jessica Waldron, Procurement Agent 2. Heidi Dotson, Senior Procurement Agent. Will Heinzman, Senior Procurement Agent. And Director of Procurement and Distribution Services, Sean Hines. Not present this evening are Laura Chase, Procurement Agent 2, and Michelle Cherry, Senior Procurement Agent. Hold tight. Their commitment to professional growth strengthens not only their individual expertise, but the overall effectiveness and accountability of the entire department. These recognitions and certifications are far more than awards on a wall. They reflect a team that is forward-thinking, mission-driven, and deeply committed to serving our students, staff, and community with the utmost integrity. To the entire procurement team, thank you for your outstanding service and for setting a standard of excellence that inspires confidence and pride across Brevard Public Schools. Please join me in a round of applause to honor their achievements. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Dawn has one of the awards in her hand, and I think the other award is with Sean. If you can hold them up so everyone can see the awesomeness. Another round of applause for an awesome team, please. And Dawn also received her certification.
Yes.
Dawn, please forgive me. Dawn is a critical, valuable team member of everything great about procurement. Could you also, you have a few words, Sean?
No, you did it. You walked up there.
Being put on the spot here, I can't thank Mr. Wilson enough for his support in these endeavors. It takes time away from my BPS job to make sure that we're meeting these standards and providing the team with the opportunity for that professional development. But it is crucial to continue and make sure that we're learning all of the new standards. So I can't thank him enough for that support, and thank you for this presentation.
Didn't know if any of the board members wanted to make any comments while they're still standing up before we take a picture and all that, so.
Yeah, I just did really quickly. These you can add to your large collection, because I've been back there. There's a whole table full of them, right? So I thank you, very proud of you. This helps us have trust in the process, and when we talk about the budget, to know that you guys are helping us expend every dollar and squeezing out a little bit out of every penny. So you guys help us accomplish that when it comes to all the stuff that we have to get. And so thank you guys very much. You may not stand, I say this when I send my thank you emails to staff, like you may not stand in front of a classroom full of kids, but what you're doing is impacting our mission every day, and we appreciate you.
Right.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, guys. A lot.
Are we taking a photo?
Yeah.
No, I echo her sentiments, honestly. Procurement, when you walked into that department, Sean, I know you've not been here for all that long. There's been a lot to get under your belt and a lot of things to work out, and you're doing an amazing job. Your team is doing a great job, so we do thank you for all the hard work that you put in, because I know a lot of days when you're behind the scenes, it seems like nobody even recognizes, but we do recognize, and we very much appreciate all the hard work that you put in.
I wanted to take a second and say thank you. I know when I make phone calls to you guys and I said, hey, I need this, I need that, you guys are always more than willing to work with me on that. You've always been open. You said, how can we accomplish this? And you've always worked towards the goal of, transparency and accountability. And I know I don't get an opportunity to ever thank you guys. And Dawn, I'm sorry I call you all the time and bother you all the time. And you're kind of the point person, to everybody. So thank you for all your work. And I appreciate everything that you guys are doing, because without you, we're vulnerable without you. And thank you for being on the front line. So I appreciate you guys.
You appreciate it. Keep up the hard work. John, you want to say anything? No, we're good.
Can't say anything that hasn't been said, other
Yep.
than thank you very much for all your dedication and hard work.
All right.
Yeah, just congratulations on the awards. We had a staff meeting earlier today, and we were talking about how a lot of people have roles that are unseen in providing a high-quality education for our students, and procurement is one of those areas that we don't see, but we can't get all the things we need to do our jobs without them doing their job. So appreciate all the hard work, and thank you for finding a cheaper price and a better value all the time. I remember when I was a principal, I'd say, oh, I want to buy this, and reach out to purchasing and procurement, and they say, wait, actually, we can get you a better deal, and it's a better product over here. So thank you guys for all of that. Picture?
Yeah. All right. We'll be back. All right, at this time, I would like to invite Irene Herr with BASA to the podium for our second recognition, the 2026 Principal Achievement Award for Outstanding Leadership and Outstanding Assistant Principal Achievement Award.
Thank you. Good evening to the members of the board and Dr. Rendell. I'm Eileen Hare. I'm the Executive Director of the Brevard Association of School Administrators. As a retired administrator here in Brevard County Schools for 28 years, it's my honor to announce this year's 2026 Principal Achievement Award for Outstanding Leadership, and that goes to Heather Smith from Central Middle School.
I'll just hold them right here.
Oh boy, all right. First, thank you to the board and Dr. Rendell and Mr. Raymer for entrusting me with Central Middle School. It is literally the greatest middle school in the county. My kids went there, and so I've experienced all of the things from parenting to now principal, and I just want to thank Sherry Bowman for the nomination, for the CNI department, for always being thought partners, my colleagues for always being thought partners to talk through all of the things. You're like, what is this? Always answering phone calls and answering questions. To my family for sacrificing some of my time, a lot of my time maybe. I appreciate you guys and your support always. The youngest is rowing right now, so. I want to thank my staff for taking this journey with me. So they have been instrumental, from my custodians and making my facilities look amazing and welcoming, to my teachers and my clerical staff for always being willing to do what's in the best interest of kids, and doing some really hard work. And that hard work has paid off this year in us soaring to a B. We are still shooting for an A, so that's the goal for this year. And I believe in them, and I'm so thankful that they believe in themselves to be able to do this work every single day, and that they're right there with me. So I appreciate all my faculty and my students. It's really hard to follow Stevenson Elementary School because they make me want to go to elementary sometimes. But middle school is literally the best. My middle schoolers today thought I was 25, so that's a win. And so I just really appreciate the opportunity to get to serve this community and this school. So thank you.
Okay, so before she leaves the podium, full disclosure for our audience, we actually gave out the awards at the Superintendent Summit in the summer. So we already announced Heather as the winner and everything, and you saw her holding up a check over there. You might have seen it. Community Credit Union is one of our best partners. I mean, they are fantastic. And so they are sponsoring this award with cash prize for the Principal of the Year and Assistant Principal of the Year. Before Heather leaves the podium, she has transformed Central Middle School in the short time that she has been the principal there. The academic achievement gains are remarkable, but what you actually just feel it when you come on the campus. The campus is a joyful place, but a business atmosphere. The students know that they are there to learn. They listen to their teachers. They follow the rules. All of the data shows that, not just academic achievement in increasing, but also discipline infractions decreasing tremendously. And it's really a result of her leadership and how she's created a team at Central that's all committed to that same mission. So this was an easy selection for Principal of the Year, so congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
Ms. Price, if I may say something also, I wanted to take a second and say thank you. You came from my district and then left. When you were here, full disclosure, when you were here, you did an amazing job. And I just wanted to take a second to your family. I know that a lot of the times that Mom may not be home because she's working and doing all the great achievements that were there. And from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your dedication and your sacrifice so that all of those children can learn and everything else and can achieve at levels that they never dreamed. So I wanted to take a second and say thank you to your husband and your kids for that. And thank you for everything. We miss you here in this district, so if you ever want to come back, just let us know. But we appreciate you.
I am soaring eagle for a long time.
I left it open for you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Anybody else?
All right, so we'll do the Assistant Principal of the Year, and then we'll do pictures. So
Great.
we'll just wait for a
Sounds
second.
good.
So Heather, you can't leave yet. I mean, you can leave the
Stop running
podium.
away.
You can.
Thank you. You know, as a retired administrator, as I said, I need to just always remind people that school leadership plays such an important role in the success of our students and our entire school community. There's not enough that we can say about the hard work, as you said, Dr. Rendell, and the teamwork that these administrators bring to our schools and to our district. Having been there, having sacrificed, that's what BASA wants to do. BASA wants to bring to light what all of our administrators work so hard to do to bring success to our school district. It's now my honor to announce the Outstanding Assistant Principal Achievement Award, and that goes to Cole Manis from Cocoa Beach Junior Senior High School. Yes.
Yeah, that's where you came from. I was getting 2 points. Thank you.
Thank you very much to the board, obviously, for having us and for recognizing it. It is nice when you're in the trenches and you get a little bit of validation when you're doing this. Dr. Rendell, obviously, we've been into some things together too, which has been great, bonding experience and that side and over on the school side, so thank you for that. Mr. Powers, thanks for taking the time to come out here today as well. I really do appreciate that you make it your mission to give me opportunities to try to groom me into a leader, and I really do appreciate that. I know you make it part of your job, and thank you for that. Ms. Bowman, thank you for the nomination. Thanks for looking out for us, always and forever over at Cocoa Beach. My CTE crew, I think I saw Ms. Rachel Rutledge in here somewhere. Thank you for all the support that you've done for us. Anytime I call, you keep answering the telephone, so I appreciate that. Ms. Han, I see you over there also. Thank you very much, same thing. I always did things as transparently as possible, when possible, and you always help me get through some of those, so I appreciate it. And I do want to echo all the sentiments we had towards family. I'm not going to cry when I say this because my family will use it as leverage any of our arguments right now, but my family's in the front row right here, and they do absorb a lot when it comes to the administrative world. The amount of time and effort it takes to run a school is considerable, and I love you. Thank you so much for everything. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. Thanks for hanging down the fort. So thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Okay, so before Cole
Go
leaves
ahead,
the
don't go
podium, so I had the pleasure of working with Cole for a couple of years at Cocoa Beach, and he is truly a leader on campus, a leader amongst the staff and the students. He's one of the most personable administrators I've been around. The students love him, but he also holds them accountable for their behavior and their performance. And the amount of improvements in the role as assistant principal for operations or facilities, the amount of improvements that he's been able to bring to Cocoa Beach are incredible. The campus, the improvements on the campus, but also programs and everything that he's had a direct hand in improving also made his selection as assistant principal of the year very easy. And I know Tim's doing a good job of giving you growth opportunities. That's called delegation. Good job, Tim. And that kind of thing. And he's in a new role in charge of curriculum now, so growing more as a leader every day. So congratulations. Thanks, sir. Board, anything? Picture time?
Yep.
Picture time.
And he used to be at Central Middle School.
He did.
No, hey, I got, Mr. Susan, you're not singing or anything else, have a seat.
All right, here we go.
No, I had a little bit of time to work with you as well. So everything you said, Dr. Rendell, absolutely true. Couple things is I'd love to get over there and see you confined to a curriculum desk. Because when you were in operations, you were everywhere. You probably had to have 30,000 steps a day in. You were just nonstop working. So that's one thing. And another thing is, you're obviously the most outstanding assistant principal of the year, but if anybody had any time to be around you, you're a much better person. So I personally want to say thank you for being a part of BPS. It's an honor that you're in my district, but you're an honor to be in this district, and we appreciate you. If we could clone you, we would do it. So let's figure that out. But you're a gem in this district, so we appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
So actually, before we do the pictures, I do want to recognize Community Credit Union and give Dan Kelly, the new CEO of Community Credit Union, the opportunity to say anything if you'd like at the podium, because they're here and they've sponsored these cash awards. And again, as one of our best partners, I want to give him the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Rendell. Thank you, school board members, and everybody for being here. Really, just congratulations to the two of you for all you do for the kids. I have two children that were adult children, BPS students for a while, and just appreciate all your efforts and everything you do. Congratulations. CCU is celebrating 72 years this year in Brevard County. So teachers 72 years ago created this amazing organization. It's just an honor and a privilege to be at the helm, and we look forward to the continued partnership. Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. We'll take a break.
Now it's picture
All right, let's go.
Allowed to get up now?
Yeah.
We're now at the adoption of the agenda. Dr. Rendell, would you read what is on the agenda this evening?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. On the agenda, we have administrative staff recommendations, 1 presentation, 35 consent items, 2 public hearing items, and 2 information items. Changes made to the agenda since it was released to the public include the following. Revisions were C1, administrative staff recommendations, and D1, a student achievement presentation.
Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Paul, roll call, please.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
We are now at the administrative staff recommendations. Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Paul, roll call, please.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell?
Aye.
Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
Dr. Rendell.
No one to recognize at this time.
All right. At this time, Ms. Harris, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, will present on student achievement.
So before we begin this presentation, I do want to make an announcement that several members of the audience are probably eager to hear, and maybe some of our viewing public. Earlier today, the board held a workshop, and during the workshop, they discussed the wireless communication device policy that was passed 2 weeks ago. When we passed the wireless communication device policy 2 weeks ago, there was some concern about the policy hindering students from accessing certain technology that impacts their learning. So the board heard those concerns and made some decisions during the workshop today. So there's going to be a slight revision to the policy. So I'm going to read a sentence that's very similar to what the final sentence will be. We're still wordsmithing the final sentence, but this is basically what it's going to say. Students in grades 9 through 12 will be able to use personal laptops, tablets, and e-readers for instructional purposes at the direction of their teacher and with the approval of their principal. So the board did hear the concern about personal laptops, tablets, and e-readers being caught up in the whole wireless communication device policy change. So no change with cell phones. No cell phones from first bell to last bell, but personal laptops, tablets, and e-readers for instructional purposes only at the direction of the teacher with the approval of the principal. So we sent word out to the principals already. We'll be sending out communications to the schools and the community. So the board did listen, made some changes, maybe not the changes everybody wants completely, but still they made some changes. So if you're here for that purpose, the board did listen. Personal laptops, tablets, and e-readers, you can use grades 9 through 12, teacher direction with principal permission. And with that, we'll move to the academic achievement presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Board Chairman, board members, Dr. Rendell, and Mr. Gibbs. It is my pleasure to be up here tonight to give a very high-level overview of the efforts of our school-based staff, our teachers, our students, and our school leaders to celebrate the tremendous success that Brevard achieved in achieving a district grade for 2 years in a row of A as we review the 24-25 school student achievement data. Tonight, what we're going to review is what made up the components of that district grade of A, our school grade update when we consider all of our schools. We're going to also talk at a high-level overview around the other side of school accountability. So we have our school grade side of the house, and then we have our ESSA, which is focused on our subgroups at each of our schools. We're going to also speak to our data around middle school acceleration, as well as college and career readiness. So we have lots of data to share and celebrate. So this first slide takes us to the information that makes up our district school grade. So you will see we are thrilled that in 9 out of the 12 areas of the district school grade, we maintained or improved. This goes into an even higher A than we experienced in the 23-24 school year. So we are thrilled with the success of our schools. When you see, we have a strategic plan goal of moving all of our schools to earn a school grade of A or B. So you will see we are well on our way as we increase the number of schools earning a school grade of A or B. Most exciting is this next slide, and this is when we list all of the schools that improved their school grade. And Brevard had 13 schools to include our traditional and our charter sites that improved their school grade in the 24-25 school year. I'm very excited about this slide because you see there are lots of school names on there. So we had 41 schools that increased in total points. And this slide represents our traditional BPS schools. So 41 of our schools improved in their total points earned. I want to do a special congratulations to these 3 schools. So Madison Middle School, Palm Bay Elementary, and Space Coast Junior Senior High School earned improvement in every cell of school grade. So that is to be commended at those 3 sites. Now we're going to flip to the other side of school accountability. So everyone is familiar with the school accountability system that grades A through F. What not all stakeholders understand is we have accountability when we look at the underperforming subgroups and tracking all students on a school campus. So there are 3 categories of state identification, the first one being ATSI, and that means there is at least one underperforming subgroup that is represented on that school campus. The next level is targeted school support and improvement, and that means that there is a subgroup that's scoring below 32 for 3 years. And then the following identification is comprehensive, and that looks at several factors, but one of the major factors that impacts our schools is looking at how many years a subgroup has been underperforming. So I'm very, very excited to share that Brevard has reduced the number of schools that are under this state identified status. So you will see for the school year 24-25, we reduced the number of schools significantly with underperforming subgroups. This is a collective effort, not only at the school level, but with our student services team doing wraparound services to students with disabilities, students in our ELL population, really ensuring that all students are making learning gains. So the schools in front of us at this time, they all exited ESSA status. So they had some type of identification, and they were able to improve their subgroups across their campus and no longer are identified with ESSA status. So now we're going to switch gears to talk about acceleration. So you will see when we look at Brevard's data in comparison to the state for the 23-24 school year as well as the 24-25 school year, you will see we maintained at 70%. We've talked earlier at the workshop about some strategic plans in identifying and making sure that students are in the right place to be successful, and so we expect to see an increase in this data. The columns on the right, that represents our college and career readiness. Again, we've been very strategic with making sure we are setting students up for success with those acceleration opportunities. So again, lots to celebrate and also opportunities to accelerate. This next slide, it reflects the progress of students performing in our CTE programs. So the information on the left, that speaks to our industry certifications. So those are certifications that allow students to opportunities to go into the workforce or go on to career pathways in a post-secondary setting. The columns on the right, this represents our digital tools. So we're looking for programs that demonstrate readiness moving forward, as well as in our 6th grade last year, this represents our 6th grade STEM students that participated in the digital tools process, and we had more students earn digital tools than we have in the past. One of the items as we reflect data from year to year is we know with legislation moving into the 25-26 school year that our data will be impacted by no longer offering this in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, that we'll be moving some to the high school and some to the 4th grade. This data is hot off the press, so this represents our students in our dual enrollment programs, both in the fall, spring, and in the summer. So you will see we had more students have access to these courses, they took more courses, and we were able to even bump up our percent of courses passed. This is significant because sometimes when you are having more opportunities and you're increasing access for all students, it becomes more challenging to maintain or exceed data. And in this data point, Brevard is continuing to excel. Now we're going to move to our advanced placement. Again, you will see a trend. More students had access, and so we had more students take tests, more students passed, that increased our overall pass rate to 75%. As we move forward with this trend, you're going to see, even with our IB results, so we had more IB tests taken, more tests were passed, and you see we maintained right at that 79%. So we're looking at the numerator being the test taken, or test passed, and the denominator being the test taken. Now we're moving to our Cambridge results, which were just recently released, and we are thrilled to say, again, that we have more tests were taken, more tests were passed, and guess what the answer is? Increased outcomes for students. So we continue the trend of more opportunity and higher rates. Our graduation data, remember this is lag data, but since we were doing an overview of everything, we included this data for comparing Brevard to the state. We showed a slight bump, but we have some strategic moves that have occurred, and we know when we get this data, because it's lagging, we should have this by the end of the semester, possibly, and we expect that it will be significantly improved. And any questions? I know that was a fast and furious, but we spent some time together this afternoon going into this with great detail.
Board?
I don't have any questions other than just to say that, excuse me, this didn't happen by accident. It happened because Dr. Rendell put together a great team. You guys, his leadership team has done a great job setting a plan and driving the goals forward, and then obviously the students and teachers doing the hard work of getting it all done. So I just want to commend you guys. You've done a phenomenal job, and looking forward to even improved results next year.
Well, I appreciate that, but I just want to echo for everyone to hear, it is what happens in the four walls of the classroom. And so I appreciate that, and I know my team hears it, but I want all of our students and our teachers and our school leaders to hear that message as well. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Dr. Rendell echoed that, hit the nail on the head earlier today. It is exactly what you just said. I mean, you can have all the plans in the world, but if it doesn't get put into play, they don't run the right play in the play on the field, in the classroom, it doesn't work. So, shout out to all of our teachers, our students, and our parents. But this is just great news. I mean, this was just an overview. We had a little deeper overview earlier. It was wonderful. Repeat though, what did you say we've done 2 years in a row?
We are an A district 2 years in a row, and this year even a higher A.
Yes, I did want us to repeat that again. So
I wasn't paying attention. What'd you say?
I believe they said that we were an A district 2 years in a row.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
So congratulations, but out there, teachers, congratulations for doing that. So you make us proud once again. So Dr. Rendell, do you want to add anything?
Just a couple things. Number one, the last few slides were about increased access to challenging curriculum. We had more students take AP courses and AP tests, more students take IB courses and IB examinations, more students take dual enrollment, more students take ACE, and in almost every one of those cases, we increased our performance. Usually when you add more access, you see a dip in performance. So the fact that our students were able to perform so well, including students who weren't exposed to that kind of challenging curriculum before, is a testament to the teachers in the classroom, that they prepared those students to do that and they succeeded. There's an old mentor of mine who used to say, more good stuff for more kids, and we did that. And that's an incredible amount of more students taking challenging academic coursework and performing at a high level. So we should be really proud of those results, but to thank, really the people in the classroom. none of us took a single test, none of us delivered a single lesson plan. They're the ones that did all that. So kudos to them and thank them for their hard work last year. And now, Mr. Thomas said better results this year. Well, we'll see. We'll do our best. But yeah, it was a great year, great accomplishments, and we should celebrate.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are now at the public comment portion of the meeting. Paul, how many do we have?
8.
8. We have 8 speakers. Each will receive 3 minutes. Our attorney will call the speakers in order which they have signed up to speak. Mr. Gibbs, we'll call the first 3 speakers.
Gina Derringe, Bernard Bryan, Christopher Higginbotham.
Good evening, school board. I just want to say to Tara, yeah, girl, we did it. I spent the past March and April on the phone to our legislators and our finance people, talking to them about my journey as an AP teacher, an IB teacher, and a Cambridge teacher, and the change that I saw in students who ended up going to college who would have never gone to college, and the first in their families go to college, and the first in their families in many instances to graduate from high school. And a lot of our legislators are not familiar with this program at all. Their aides were. When I would talk to their aides, they would go, oh, they want to gut the program? And I went, yeah. So I graded this year for College Board. I graded 500 essays for AP World, and the scores were great. And the kids are, I think they're using the digital classroom. It's a game changer. Anyway, what I'm here to talk about is the Student Progressive Plan for Brevard County. I sent it out to the members of my civics group that I am the education chair with, and one is Fran Baer, who was my union president when I started teaching in 1997. And I said, Fran, just anything you want to look over and comment on. And she said something interesting. She said that there's information, the foreword talks about the parents, the teachers, and the principal, and the students, and their obligation for this plan, but there's nothing about the school board. And you guys are the ones who fund and make things happen. So Fran could not make it tonight, but she wanted to say, please keep in mind that you should be part of the forward as well of this plan, of your responsibility to the teachers in Brevard County and the students of Brevard County. Just wanted to state that. I'm also concerned by House Bill 1105, which basically is gutting certificates of attendance for students who are special needs. I am the mother of a ESE teacher. My daughter has taught for 15 years. She was a best buddy. And I'm concerned about this program and what we're going to do to supplement this new law that's passed. Students show up and they get a certificate of attendance. And yes, it's not a diploma per se, but it shows to future employers that the student had the tenacity and the grit to show up every day at high school. So I'm hoping that you keep those students in your minds and your thoughts when you are thinking about the alternative to this plan. Thank you.
Bernard Bryan, Christopher Higginbotham, Shelby Bottomley.
Good evening. My name is Bernard Bryan, and I'm representing the South Brevard branch of the NAACP, as well as the concerned citizens of South Brevard. I want to comment on your student progressive plan. And first of all, I would like to thank Dr. Rendell, Dr. Tara Harris, Adrian McDonough. When I reviewed part of that plan, I see a lot of information of improving VPK students' instructional participation. And I was so excited to see that. And I want to just continue to thank this team because Dr. Rendell put together a wonderful video that recruit and educated our communities about how important VPK is. And that really went off pretty good. We're not quite there yet, but we have seen some increase in participation, And I would just like to encourage the staff to continue to do that, because we understand early learning is critical in reference to closing the achievement gap. And then one other thing I'd like to bring up, I noticed in your student progressive plan that the certificate of completion has been eliminated. So one of the things I'm asking, when I read through your plan, how is the parents notified that my child is not there yet? So I'm hoping you would add to your plan a communication strategy so the parent grandparent wouldn't be surprised when they get to graduation period that their child does not meet the criteria to graduate. So I'm asking, if you will, to add to your plan those steps, those communication steps, so that no child will have the remediation plan to recover. So if you would do that, we really would appreciate it. Again, thank you so much. In terms of the VPK video, I thought it was excellent. If you haven't seen it, I'm still impressed with it. And matter of fact, I was at a church this past Sunday, and they were magnifying getting your children in the VPK. So, continue to push that communication path, and we would appreciate that a lot. So thank you very much.
Christopher Higginbotham, Shelby Bottomley, Julia Cohen Pensley.
Good morning. I'm sorry, good evening. Chris Higginbotham. I just want to say I'm a parent of three. All three kids here go to Brevard Public Schools. I wanted to talk about I-2, which is the school improvement plan. I wanted to draw a specific part of it. It has to do with culture. I think all school improvement plans should involve some sort of culture. In the school I'm currently at, it's positive learning environment. We spend a lot of time on that. Mr. Thomas, you were at my school today. Hopefully you got welcomed and it was an enjoyable experience. Also, I wanted to speak about the progression plan, specifically my son. I love my son. He's a good kid, but he normally would not be an AP student. He struggles with discipline and studying. So when we talk about the pushing for students to take more advanced placement classes and ACE classes or IB classes, depending on what school they go to, that's the kind of culture that we have. I spoke to, I don't know if I can say somebody's name, I spoke to Mr. Rush, and he convinced me that juniors should try that class, and he's doing well in that class. So that's the kind of culture that we want, and that's why on I-2, we should be building that. With that being said, even this board, you guys have a culture, whether or not you think you do or not you do, and I think it's a testament to you guys that you went to the workshop and altered something that I view as a win-win. I like that we kept the cell phones out of the school during the school hours from bell to bell, but I feel like you guys went back and thought intelligently and said there is some educational value in the laptops, tablets, e-readers, and stuff like that. And the school principals and the school teachers, they know their school best. And I like that you guys gave them that autonomy. So I think that was a good job, and I want to thank you guys for that. But that's all I have, and thank you for your time.
Shelby Bottomley. After Shelby, we have Julia Cohen Pensley and Jennifer Hopkins.
Good evening, members of the board, Dr. Rendell, and members of the community. I am here to speak on item number 7, instructional staff recommendations, specifically the 21 resignations. I want to speak to why those educators may have resigned, like myself. My name is Shelby Bottomley. I am a former BPS student and former BPS educator. I taught AP and Honors English at Satellite High School for 4 years. During this time, my AP scores were well above the national average, with this past year being a 94% pass rate. You might be asking yourself, why would such an effective educator quit? The reason is, unfortunately, incredibly simple. As a teacher, I no longer felt supported, respected, or safe within my classroom. The actions of this board and the manner in which they have treated the public and educators have made it abundantly clear that they choose to serve themselves and their politics over what's best for their students. This has created a toxic culture of fear rather than one of collaboration and respect. When teachers are not empowered in the classroom, this has a direct impact on the students. For example, I felt like I couldn't connect with my students for fear of saying something that could get me in trouble. Because of this toxic environment, I felt as if my students were not getting an instructor they deserve. Students deserve to have a teacher that is solely focused on giving the best instruction. The environment that the school board has created has made this nearly impossible, as now teachers have to worry about how every word they say could get them fired. It is my belief that the job of the school board is to trust and empower its teachers, because this has a direct impact on the students and the classroom. Until this board can treat its teachers with the respect and trust they deserve, then I think we can count on the fact that those resignation numbers will continue to rise. It's my only hope that BPS can get its act together for the 67 newly appointed educators before it's too late. As Richard Ingersoll said, 44% of newly appointed educators quit within the first 5 years. Unfortunately, we also know that the most effective educators are those with at least 5 years under their belts. Please understand that you have the power to create a positive environment where teachers want to be so that they can reach their full potential for our students. Thank you.
Julia Cohen Pensley, followed by Jennifer Hopkins and Xander Colangelo.
Good evening, Superintendent Rendell and members of the board. I'm here tonight to speak on agenda item F1. At the last meeting, I stood here frustrated because students, teachers, and parents were shut out of the decision-making process. The vote felt decided before the community even had a chance to speak. That was not leadership. But I want to start tonight by saying thank you. The policy was amended. Students are now allowed to use laptops that might seem like a small shift, but it proves something big, that when you listen, change happens. When you take voices seriously, solutions improve. That is why this moment matters so much. Because if one amendment can happen after one meeting, imagine what could happen if students, parents, and teachers were included from the start. Imagine how much stronger and smarter policy would be if the people most impacted were treated as partners, not problems. Yet, let's not ignore the reality. Phones are still banned, and in today's world, they are not just distractions, they are lifelines. In a lockdown, a medical emergency, or a threat, every second counts. Students may need to call 911, parents may need updates, teachers may need fast communication to keep us safe. Until schools can guarantee safety, removing access to phones removes a basic line of protection. Safety must come before control. So let's be honest. The laptop change only happened because this board finally listened. That's proof of why listening must be the rule, not the exception. That's proof of why this community needs a town hall. A town hall would mean parents, teachers, and students can speak directly to you before policies are finalized. It would mean trust built on transparency, not secrecy. And it would mean avoiding unnecessary conflict because voices were included from the start. You showed tonight that you can hear us. Now prove you can lead with us. Hold a town hall. Make transparency the standard, not the compromise. Choose trust over control. If schools are meant to prepare us for the real world, let this board be the standard for true leadership. Leadership rooted in service, trust, and integrity. Thank you.
Jennifer Hopkins.
Mr. Gibbs.
Mr. Chair, before we continue, can I just clarify one thing?
Absolutely.
And I want to just
Go ahead.
address this because this was spoke about today at the workshop, and I'm sure that most of you had not had the opportunity to go back and watch that. But we were very clear that your phone is allowed to remain on your physical body. It just cannot be turned on, and you cannot, I mean, it can be turned on silent. It can't be out. You can't take it out. So we were clear on setting that perimeter, and then if the phone is used for medical purposes, again,
Or
you're allowed to have it. So there's certain perimeters that go around that. If you go back and listen to the workshop today, we talked about it in depth. But I just want to clarify that for any future speaker who might be concerned with the fact that we're going to take their phone physically away from them. That is not what we're
And
doing.
that was always the case.
Right, correct.
Right. And we still teach civics in high school, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, just wondering.
All right, so it's Jennifer Hopkins, followed by Xander Colangelo and Quinn Dykes.
Good evening, my name is Jen. I'm here to speak on agenda item F1. I recognize that this board already passed a flawed policy with the stated intent to revisit and revise it. Thank you for acknowledging the valid concerns of students, teachers, and the community. Truly, we do appreciate it. I want to acknowledge that managing cell phone use in school is a valid concern. Even with the changes, this policy is overly broad and deeply insufficient. It prioritizes control over education, and in the high school setting, it fails our students. Taking away students' access to phones limits the ways in which they can complete assignments and communicate with their teachers, parents, and peers. Empowering teachers to make the decision about when these devices are beneficial is the right thing to do. Let's be honest, banning phones at lunchtime is unnecessary. It is a misguided approach to managing autonomy and trust, and it undermines the student's ability to make responsible decisions. At the last meeting, we heard from a parent who wondered what could have happened to their child if it weren't for Snapchat. There is no question that access to a phone enhances safety and communication. How many times have we heard stories about students texting or calling their parents while emergencies were happening at their schools? How often have we have emergencies been avoided because of ready access to a device? Do the benefits of an all-out ban outweigh the drawbacks of having no access? Several parents and students have already given excellent examples of how a complete ban of cell phones is detrimental to both the educational experience and the development of essential digital skills. Mrs. Campbell and Mr. Thomas, the two members that Mr. Trent does not consider to really be part of the board, heard the pleas to reconsider and are possibly able to see why public comment should be heard before you decide how you're going to vote. Passing a flawed policy with a promise to revise it later can be a signal of poor governance. It shows a lack of due diligence, suggesting that you didn't fully vet or analyze it before approval. The resulting consequences that will affect students, teachers, and parents could have been avoided with more thorough planning. We all rely on this board to make decisions that are well considered and impactful. Not doing so undermines confidence in the board's ability to lead effectively. The promise to revise later means that harmful effects are felt immediately, creating frustration among those affected. At the time of the vote, you indicated that you needed to act quickly and that further discussion was not an option. I don't know that very many of us understood why that was the case. Communication is key. A clear explanation of why the decision was made, followed by a concrete plan for revision, could make the process more understandable to the public. I would like to take this opportunity to again invite you all to participate in a town hall. The Brevard Public Schools Policy Manual, Policy 0123J, Standards of Boardmanship/Code of Ethics states, as a member of the board, each board member shall promote the best interest of the school district as a whole, and to that end, each board member shall adhere to the following educational and ethical standards. Encourage the free expression of opinion by all board members and seek systematic, I apologize,
Thank
can I
you so
just
much.
finish the sentence?
Yeah, you too.
Xander. Xander Colangelo. Xander Colangelo. After Xander, we have Quinn Dykes.
Esteemed members of the board, Superintendent Rendell, my name is Xander Colangelo. I'll be speaking on item 28. I'm a student at Salad High School and also honored to be a member of our cross-country team. Coached by the 24-time state winner and nationally recognized coach, Coach Doug Butler. First, I'd like to thank you for your support for our upcoming trip to Huntsville, Alabama, where we'll compete in the Southern Showcase. This is one of the premier meets in the Southeast and gives our team a chance to run against the best runners in the nation. For us, it's not just about racing, it's about learning discipline, commitment, accountability. Under Coach Butler's guidance, we've also learned teamwork and leadership and how to push ourselves beyond what we thought was possible. Those lessons reach far beyond the pre-dawn practices and shape us as the people we are today and will be in the future. At Satellite, we've learned what happens when a leader like that steps away. Last year, Coach Butler retired from high school coaching after 25 years. The void he left was so deep and so wide that no one could truly replace him. And yet, because of his passion for supporting us and preparing our young minds for the future in the real world, he chose to step back in and return as our coach. That kind of leadership goes far beyond the stopwatch and the finish line. It's about life lessons that stay with us long after the race is over. In the same way, I've had another irreplaceable coach from mock trial. Like cross country, mock trial requires long hours, teamwork, and mental toughness. I was coached not just to argue a case, but to think critically, to speak clearly, and to carry myself with integrity. But when she wasn't able to coach anymore, I wasn't just losing a coach, I was losing the very opportunities that prepare me for the challenges of the real world. Just as cross country wouldn't be the same without Coach Butler's mentorship, mock trial wouldn't be the same without Ms. Calhoun's guidance. I know there's been a controversy about her not being retired, even though she kept her teaching license and had a record of strong evaluations. Whatever the policy considerations may be, I ask the board to remember how students' experiences with coaches and teachers drive our daily lives. Some positions can't be replaced. In closing, I urge you to reflect on your mission to serve excellence as a standard. Excellence comes not only from the opportunities you support, like our trip to the Southern Showcase, but also from the people who guide us, our coaches, our teachers, and mentors. But both Coach Butler and Ms. Calhoun represent the standard of excellence, and I hope we will continue to value the irreplaceable impact they have on our lives. Thank you.
Quinn Dykes.
Good evening. I did want to say really quickly, if someone lost a hat, I'd put it over there. Just want to get that. I'm sure they left already, but okay. Good evening, board members, superintendent. My name is Quinn, and I'm here to speak on item F16, the investment performance review. I was looking forward to seeing the budget hearing this afternoon in the workshop. I know it got pushed. I'll look forward to the next workshop to look at that. But I'm speaking on this item because the performance of our investments directly affects how severe our budget shortfall will be and how that shortfall impacts classrooms, staff, and services. We know Brevard, like other districts in Florida, they're facing a serious shortfall this year. That means we do not have the funds to cover everything our students need, and cuts are on the table. When the board reviews investments performance, the numbers may seem abstract, but to me, to the community, those numbers represent real consequences. Strong earnings could help ease the shortfall. Weak earnings could make the gap larger. Either way, the public deserves to understand what this review means for the financial decisions that lie ahead. So I want to ask 3 questions. First, what is the current size of Brevard's projected shortfall? Second, how much do the investment returns being reviewed tonight reduce that shortfall, if at all? Third, if the gap remains, how will the district decide what to cut, and how will you protect classrooms, essential student services, and essential positions? These questions matter because budget choices are not just about accounting. They are about whether students will have enough teachers, whether support staff will stay in place, and whether programs that give children opportunity will continue. As you discuss item F16 tonight, I urge you to explain clearly how the results of this investment report connect to our budget crisis and what priorities will guide Brevard in navigating it. Families, staff, and students deserve transparency and a plan that keeps learning at the center. Families, staff, and students deserve transparency and a plan that keeps learning at the center. While each of you might understand the policies you are creating and navigating, much of the community does not. The idea of hosting a town hall has gained support not because extra policy discussions sound enjoyable at all, but because a back and forth conversation that builds real understanding is necessary. I just want to take the time to thank you two for responding to my emails this past weekend, and I do look forward to hopefully hearing from the rest of the board. Just thank you for your time and for your work. Thank you.
Paul, is that it?
Yep.
It is, all right. That concludes our agenda items only public comments. We thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to address the board with your concerns and suggestions. I would like to remind the public that the board is accessible for further conversations outside of our business meetings through scheduling a meeting. We're now at the consent agenda portion of our meeting. Dr. Rendell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. There are 35 items on the list under this category.
Thank you, Dr. Rendell. Does any board member wish to pull any items? No? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to accept.
Second.
Any discussion? Paul, roll call, please.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell? Aye. Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan? Aye. Ms. Wright?
Aye.
The public hearing is now open to public comments. We will, in accordance with the Florida law, accept the speakers. Student progression plan for Brevard Public Schools. Is there anyone present who would wishes to address this item? Is there anyone present that would like to address this item? Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Paul, roll call, please.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell? Aye. Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
G2, contract amendment for Pineapple Cove. Is there anyone present who wishes to address this item? Is there anyone present who wishes to address this item? Do I hear a motion?
Move to approve. Second.
Any discussion? Paul, roll call, please.
Mr. Thomas?
Aye.
Ms. Campbell? Aye. Mr. Trent?
Aye.
Mr. Susan?
Aye.
Ms. Wright?
Aye.
All right. We will move on to the information agenda, which includes 2 items for board review and may be brought back for action at a subsequent meeting. No action will be taken on these items today. Does any board member wish to discuss this item? All right. At this time, I would like to offer my fellow board members and Dr. Rendell an opportunity to recognize students, staff, or members of the community.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, go ahead.
A couple things. I'd like to first recognize AT&T. They just presented a check to the Brevard Schools Foundation today. Dan Pollock with AT&T presented a check for $30,000. So very much appreciated that contribution and just want to make sure they were acknowledged publicly. And also, I had the opportunity to go to the Astronaut Palm Bay football game the other night, and there was an injury that could have been very significant. A player had to be airlifted out, and I just wanted to commend Principal Miller and Principal Kaminsky from both schools, their trainers, their staff, Dr. Pinsky, who was not even an official doctor on the field, but he was a parent of a player, came down. They all did an exceptional job. And one thing I'd just like you guys to be aware of, and Ms. Wright, you should be proud of Astronaut because all the players came together from both schools, all the student athletes, they came together and said a prayer at midfield for the player. It was very cool just to watch that happen. So great sportsmanship, great move by both those schools to come together. I would like to point out, though, that I don't know all the facts yet, but I do know that there's, talked to Dr. Rendell about some of the trainers' positions. We have full-time training positions for trainers at our schools, and was made aware today that the Palm Bay Bayside football game won't even have a full-time trainer present. We have positions open, but they're just not all filled. So if anybody in the community knows of a full-time trainer that is interested in working at a school full-time, it wouldn't just be for football, it'd be for all sports. Please let the district know because we're in a need, and especially in the middle of football season, having a football game without a trainer is not a good thing. So that's all I have.
Okay. Awesome. Ms. Campbell?
I wanted to start out by thanking our state representative for this southernmost part of the county, Monique Miller, who joined me for a couple of school visits last week. It was exciting to show her our new programs at Heritage, and as our electricity program we talked about today, as well as some other CT programs and Cambridge classes. And also we went over to Bayside and showed her the new construction that's about to happen, as well as some CTE programs and different things. And I just publicly want to appreciate her because she walked into every conversation with a notepad and a pen, asking the teachers and principals, what's your biggest struggle? So just very much appreciate her participation in that. And also want to thank Congressman Mike Herodopoulos. In my time on the board, we've not had any senators or from the federal level or congressmen come and visit a school, and he just was very engaged with that process, and appreciate him and his team for coming to let us show off some amazing CTE programs. He also popped into and I think scared half to death, a civics political science teacher, which she was so excited to get that visit, and because she had his name, she had the pictures of all our federal representatives up on her board, and she's like, look, there's a picture of him right there. So it just really appreciated his visit. Last week on Thursday, I believe, board, we were invited, but it was very last minute, so I understand nobody else was able to come. I happened to have the day free. But Commissioner Altman invited us to come across the street to the reveal of the county's new initiative about opioid abuse and in our county. And Brevard has had just more than per capita what we, than a lot of the other areas in the state when it comes to opioid abuse deaths and overdoses. And so they have a new campaign that we're going to start seeing around. They're wrapping the county buses with it. It's called Space for Recovery. And I know they would really like for us to partner with initiatives, education initiatives. There's a couple people I talked to that I know we talk about those kinds of things, but it's such a big problem in the nation. I was just listening to the news today about, we talk about how bad fentanyl is, and they're talking about the next thing, ISO, and how terrible, it's even more powerful. And so it's such a danger. And so we want to, if we have a way that we can partner with the county on these initiatives so that make sure we're starting from when they're young to show them the dangers of drug use. We got to go back to the 80s when I was, when Miss Wright wasn't born yet, but we were doing,
I was, thank you.
When we were wearing, say no, just say no, right? Just say no. There are all kinds of, it's so dangerous, and we want our kids to be aware of the things that might be lurking even in a vape pen, or something else. And so, but I would like for us to join in whatever way that we can. On Friday, the Early Learning Coalition that we got to hear from when Dr. Rendell did the State of the Schools event, they hosted a community conversation, and we had representatives from our own early learning department, Ms. McDonough and their team, and I just wanted to thank them for being a part of the Early Learning Coalition, have that conversation. It was a great conversation. We had a representative from Representative Tremont's office came and talked about a bill that he passed to try to get more eligibility for our low-income families to do childcare, but also VPK falls under that. And so it was a good conversation. I wanted to share with you guys about that. And one of the things that they're dealing with is some of their funding is federal funding, and it's looking like it's going to be cut significantly next year. And so they're trying to figure out how do they operate to make sure that our families continue to have access to VPK and childcare so they can, go to work. It's hard to go to work if you can't find someone to take care of your children. So it was a good and very informative meeting. And then I just wanted to thank the board and thank the public who reached out to us about the wireless communication device policy. We did good work today, board, and I very much appreciate that. Finally, as just a topic of conversation, because it has come up in the public and a couple people asked about it tonight, Dr. Rendell, can you have someone send to us. I want to do a clarification about certificates of completion. There's been some news in there, and a lot of you'd see like a picture of a child who has Down syndrome and say they're not going to get, and that's not accurate. We have some students who have the severest disabilities who are actually getting a diploma through our access points, and we're not talking about that. We're talking about the students who they haven't been able to pass the test, and it's still a sad situation, but or they haven't had the GPA, they haven't had the 2.0 minimum GPA. And I listened to the state representative who really, and I've been thinking about her name all day and I forgot it, I can't remember it, but who pushed for this piece of legislation, introduced it. Her thoughts were, like, we're handing people a piece of paper that gets them they can't get a job with it. It's not equivalent to a GED. It's, so it's in her words, a meaningless piece of paper. This is not our most severely handicapped students because they have access points. They have another route into possible workforce jobs for them, and we can put them in the BLAST program and do all kinds of things. But I did want to know, just for my information, for people who might ask, if you could have someone send us, what is the average number of certificates of completion that we issue? Someone asked tonight, like, how are we going to communicate that to the families? But it would help me to have a better idea of how many of those are we talking about every year, ballpark?
Yeah, so we can put together that data. I think a really good suggestion would be to put an FAQ together.
Yeah.
So what does the new change really mean? How many students does it affect? That kind of thing. Because there's students who qualify for alternative assessment are still going to qualify.
Right.
So it would be good for us to put an FAQ together.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
And I think it's important for families to understand that at this point in the year, we talked about our academic achievement today. Schools and the district leadership and support are doing everything they can from the first day of school, starting August 11th, all the way up until May, and even really into the summer, to get these kids across the finish line. If their GPA is not high enough, they're trying to get them into course recovery. We have grade forgiveness. If you made a D or F in a class, you can retake the class and replace it. We're trying to get them to take all the options of tests so that they can get that concordance score. So that is what our high schools in particular are doing to try to get every kid across the finish line that we possibly can. We now have Riverside Charter School, that a lot of the schools in the South area are sending kids who are severely behind or have super low GPAs where they can access it. Our adult ed has a high school diploma. We have all these ways that we are continuously trying to get kids across the finish line. So I don't want people to think that because this is eliminated, this piece of paper that really doesn't get them anything, that we are giving up on these students, because we absolutely, every year, the staff are working so hard to get every student across the finish line, and preferably on time. And if we can't get them across the finish line on time, we're going to try to get them across the finish line in their own time. And but I just wanted to say that word. But if you could get that data to us, I think that would be helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, not just the data, but I think an FAQ definitely would be good. Yep.
Good idea.
Yes, thank you, Ms. Campbell. I actually had a conversation earlier today with Ms. Vega about this very thing, because I've been approached from the community as well, and it was touted as though this was going to be our most vulnerable population, our ESC students, or students that are born with developmental disabilities, and that's not the population that this is pertaining to, from my understanding. So when that information comes out, that would be helpful for us all to have so that we can share it with everyone. All right, so we are off to school. School is it's running very well, and I just keep holding my breath going, if we can make it through week 3 and not get sick, we're doing okay. So kudos to all you teachers out there and all the students that are, immune systems are working and they're not catching any germs. Appreciate that. I had the opportunity to attend our kindergarten roundup, and that's always a fun moment. And I just want to give a shout out to Southlake and how special they were with what, they do a really special thing, which I was laughing. None of the moms were crying until they handed them a boo bag. And the boo bag was so sweet. It had tissues and it had Hershey Kisses and a little saying in it. And it was just a very personal touch that a mom got from their little child that was going into kindergarten, and then immediately tears started being shed. So I said, I think that's counterproductive to what you were trying to do, but it was still a very nice personal touch. So thank you so much to that school and all the wonderful things they're doing. Been in all the schools lately, visiting lots of them. So had the opportunity to attend Mr. Trent, your school, Merritt Island, looks like wonderful things are happening there. I'll let you talk about that ribbon cutting. I had time to visit with our new principal at Space Coast, and she's off to a running start doing amazing work there. Spent time with our new principal at Coquina. She's off to a running start doing amazing work there. Been to Mims Elementary, just really trying to make sure that I'm hitting as many schools as possible and really trying to hear from our staff what we need, what our vacancies are. And I want to say this, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this tactfully, because one of the things that I always like to go and see is our littles that are in there, so our kindergartners, VPK if they have a unit there as well. But there seems to be a trend that keeps happening, and it's getting worse every year since I've been on this board. And so I'm like, I'm not sure where this originates from, but walking into kindergarten classes and I ask the teachers, are all your kindergartners potty trained? Which used to just be a standard when I had kids. And it's not happening, and these are not ESE students, so they're having several that are coming in board, and they're not potty trained, and this is a huge burden on that classroom. And so I'm just saying this publicly, like to parents, hey, if you need help in that arena, as far as there's got to be resources out there, make sure your kids are potty trained. That used to be just a basic standard of make sure they can tie their shoes, they know their phone number, they're potty trained, those things going into kindergarten. But we're seeing kindergartners show up now, and they're not potty trained, and that's trying to figure out how are you going to change a diaper on a 5-year-old when there's 20 more of them right here. That becomes very difficult for our schools. So whatever we can do to help our communities there, parents, you are empowered. Please, please, please help in that arena. I had the opportunity to attend the Space Coast Symposium that took place last week. Thank you so much for that invitation. There were so many brilliant people in the room, and Ms. Rutledge, I think, was able to make some meaningful partnerships that will help our students find job placement in the career and technical education world. So very, very excited about that. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else. That's it.
Great. Mr. Susan?
Yeah, thank you. I wanted to go through a couple of things, and I might take a little bit of time just because, I didn't talk much today during the workshop. Yeah, you can go see that. So, first thing is that we were in Merritt Island, and we went to that opening of the new career and technical program that's there, and I was able to catch up with some of my really good old friends, like people that I taught with at Space Coast and some of the other people that have been in my life way back in 2005, 6, 7. And the passion that they have inside of those classrooms is still the same as the day that they were there. And I said it a little bit earlier in today's speeches earlier, but they had said, like, our classrooms are in a better place because of the cell phones. And what was unique, and the only reason I sat there, one of them said that she has all of her classes are actually filling out all of their worksheets and forms and stuff like that, and engaging inside the classroom and having conversations. So I wanted to say thank you to the board for taking that decision that we did. It was a strong decision, and I appreciate you. But the reason it reminded me was because you were talking about athletic trainers, and 2 of the individuals I spoke to used to be athletic trainers. One of them still is for Merritt Island. The other one used to be one for Space Coast. And I think one of the things that we're being inhibited on, which we might want to bring up, we doubled the supplement, we cleared a bunch of stuff, we went through a whole overhaul. But one of the things that tagged back, and you may be talking, you want to talk about it?
No, you go ahead.
Talk about the requirement to teach?
No,
Is that
that's
what I
fine.
want? All right, you can do it.
No.
There's a requirement to teach on the back end of it. And a lot of our athletic trainers are athletic trainers. They work inside of other organizations and stuff like that. So we might want to take a look at that as far as removing that requirement so we can fill that position. It's a different type. We have like career and technical programs that don't require the teaching certificate, just a certificate from the area, you know what I mean? So there's some work there that I think could help, but you're 100% right. Like by coaching and you coaching, you realized how much that support for those coaches is through that athletic trainer and protection of those kids. Because sometimes a coach will turn around and put a kid in that is questionable, and it's not good. And those trainers are on the line. So good point. And thank you for bringing that up. I did want to bring up the fact that there were some football games.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if somebody caught that Merritt Island Cocoa game.
Yeah.
Holy cow. And then what is being benched, I'm not kidding you, it was known as the golf cart boys who beat the Rockledge. I don't know if you heard Vieira beat Rockledge.
Yeah.
There was literally a meme that came out and said the golf cart boys because they have their golf carts parked up there. I was laughing so hard at it, but Coach Gallo, with all kidding aside, has run a hell of an organization over there at Vieira. And you're seeing our other teams that normally were like in the mid-level are starting to compete at that top level with some of those coaches that had already been winning. Now the other teams are winning, and that's going across the board in career and technical and sports and everything else. So I just wanted to throw a shout out there. Harding is the lady that Mr. Herodopoulos, Congressman Herodopoulos went to at O'Galley. She was very vocal on the cell phone issue, another individual and somebody that I hold near and dear. She has all of our information and she talks about us all the time in her political science class in a very positive way. And I want to give her a shout out for that. One thing I needed some feedback from you guys on, the Value Adjustment Board that I honorably sit on, that you guys, everybody didn't like it, so I took it like 4 years ago and I actually love it. There was a thing that came through. We pay 2/5 of the budget for the Value Adjustment Board. Not many people know that, but our budget pays for a portion of the Value Adjustment Board. That's all of the lawyers, the people that are involved in everything else. There's an opportunity for us to increase, and I'm not asking for a vote right now, I'm just going to throw it to you guys. You guys can look at it and we'll come back to it. There's an opportunity to increase the application fee from $15 to $50. There's a new law that came out that allowed us to do it. The increase might offset some of our costs. The only issue that I asked for is I said, let me see the budget, let me get it, bring it back to my school board members. I still haven't received it yet, but once I do, I'll bring it back. But the idea is that if we increase the cost, not because of the increase to save money for the school district, the main one would be less people might not frivolously not show up, because a lot of people file, there's a lot of work done and everything else, and then they just never come to the actual thing. They're thinking that that may help that situation, but I'll get you guys some of that information. I also wanted to tell you guys, I got selected officially to be the chairman of the Presidential Youth Physical Fitness for all 67 school districts in the state of Florida through the Florida School Board Association. The indication, it looks like Mr. Gallo out of Miami-Dade will end up being my vice chair, or Al Hernandez from Pasco. But what we're going to do is kind of set a standard and then, you know what I mean, work through that legislation for the president. But I did want to give a shout out to somebody very special here, is Rachel Winston. Rachel, and the main reason I wanted to bring it up is that she's the vice president of the organization that basically oversees for all of our coaches and health teachers and everything else, and gym teachers and everything else in the state of Florida. So she's going to work very closely with me to oversee a lot of those metrics. So I wanted to give a big shout out to Rachel Winston. She's an amazing individual who was so excited to be a part of it. So now all I have to do is say, go, Rachel, go, and then we come out on the back end. But thank you, Rachel, for all your hard work. And then the last piece is that I just going through today, I came to the realization of how much I appreciate you guys. And one of the things that we run into is that many times when we're in the tussles of battling and we're arguing over certain things and we're back and forth, and we don't get a chance to say how much we appreciate each other. And Ms. Campbell, there's some times where you and I get into it, but I did want to say I appreciate you so much and what your dedication to this board. Mr. Thomas, the same thing. You guys put in your worth and your effort, and you try very hard. And we may not always see eye to eye on every issue, but I always appreciate you guys and what you do. So thank you for that. Dr. Rendell, you do an amazing job too. You hit my heart when you talked earlier about how we're not the ones that put together the lesson plans, and we're not the ones that, are in the classroom, and those are the people that deserve all the credit, and you always say that. So thank you for all your dedication and work and keeping it real, man. So thank you. I appreciate you guys.
All right.
Yeah, you didn't want to give me a hug now?
Yeah, well, you know what, we'll hug it out. This is the Matt Susan we get when he eats dinner before the board meeting. So thank you for that. And you guys covered a lot. So I will talk about the ribbon cutting that we had at Merritt Island High. It was astronautics. I'm getting that. That's a new word.
That's correct.
I haven't seen that. What a wonderful program. And I did find out that I will never be a pilot. They have flight simulators there.
So cool.
It's amazing. Those kids, what they're doing right now, they're taking off, they're landing. What was so cool about it was, if you've ever been on a golf simulator, you can be like, I'm at this course in Scotland. Well, they were at the airport in Merritt Island on the screen, and they were taking off, and they were going over to Cocoa Beach, and it was absolutely amazing. I didn't even think about that they could be that specific, and it was wonderful. You hear people say you never work a day in your life if you go to work happy, but it also is the same for children and students. When they're in the classroom, I thought the doors were just open and it was voluntarily coming in. That was a class, and they are so excited to be there. So with our partners, with FIT that helped put that together, it is going to be an amazing, amazing program. So shout out to Merritt Island, a shout out to this board and any other elected official that had anything to do with getting funding, to getting that program in there. I know Dr. Rendell can talk about it more. He knows more of the details, but there was a lot of excitement in that room. So that was exciting. Also going around the schools with Congressman Mike Kyriadopoulos, you could really tell he was not, it didn't take a lot of convincing for him to come here. He really enjoyed himself at our schools. He was a former history teacher, so he's very comfortable in the schools. It won't be the last time we see him. We're actually with him for the next couple of days at some of our schools. But he's got a lot of things going on in Washington that's directly affecting Brevard County and our schools, so a lot on the horizon. And he knows this is a shining star, not only in Florida, but in the country, this area, and a lot of opportunities for our students in the future. So it's great just to be around him with the amount of knowledge that he has of what's coming, some of the money that was in some of these bills that are coming directly back to Brevard. It was amazing. So also beginning of the school year, I know, Mr. Wright, you had mentioned about not getting sick and all that, but also a shout out to a few people. One is Rashad Wilson, because usually by this time we have loads and loads of emails about bus routes and late kids and wrong bus stops and nothing, zero. So congratulations.
In your area?
We're working on it.
All right. And I have not checked my spam folder. But no, good job on that. Also to the administration, because I also have not been having those emails in District 2 about the beginning of the school year. So shout out to all the administrators. And again, echo the same thing Dr. Rendell said, Matt, you said, A, 2 years in a row, and all the improvements that we have here in Brevard. It's just a shout out to our teachers that, people don't leave jobs because of money, for example. They leave when they're not supported. So I will say our staff, that's a testament that they feel supported. That's why we have an A district 2 years in a row. That's why we've improved in so many areas in our district. So from top to bottom, but again, starts with the students, the parents, the staff, administration, then it comes to us. But we couldn't do it without you, so thank you so much there. Also, students, you had some fast testing today, right? I believe so.
Correct.
So I already got the phone call from my daughter that... No, she didn't like it when she went to school, but when she came home, and she's like, look what I got. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. But that's just PM1. We'll get there. But again, great start to a great year. We're looking for another wonderful year in Brevard. So that's all I got. Dr. Rendell?
I really don't have anything to add. The AFEX program, Astronautics and Flight Exploration, is a new program at Merritt Island High School, and it's really just an idea that I hatched with Dr. Nicolo from FIT, and then we said, go do it, and then his staff and Rachel Rutledge and the CTE department and the staff at Merritt Island High School made it happen. So it's a program designed for people who want to be an astronaut or learn how to design spaceships and become an aeronautical engineer or a mechanical engineer or something like that. That's the program for you. If you are looking to design rockets or fly in a rocket, that's the program. If you want to build rockets, we have other programs for you. But it's a great, exciting new program at Merritt Island. First year, as the students get into the upper level courses, there will be dual enrollment with FIT. They'll even be able to go to FIT and participate in the zero gravity lab and things like that. So it's a really cool program. But Dr. Nicolo at FIT and I kind of had an idea, and then we told people to go do it, and they did it. So it's pretty cool. Other than that, we did have a lengthy dive into the data today at the workshop. So if you want to know more about how our students performed last year, you can go back and watch the tape. It's a really deep dive into the data, not as surface like we did tonight. So lots of good data for you to go look at if you're interested. That's it.
All right. Okay. We are now at the non-agenda items public comment portion of the meeting. How many speakers?
8.
We have 8. All right, we're going to take a short break while we get ready for those speakers.